Into the Pit is the latest Five Nights at Freddy's game, and like all the others, there are plenty of achievements to get, with a nightmare mode that is much more difficult, and if you die, your save file ends permanently. So in this video, I will be beating nightmare mode, and just like all the other games, it took me quite a while. Right, so I am going to be explaining what I did on this run to beat the nightmare mode. Now to not waste your time, here are some key tips if you plan to beat this game yourself. So the first thing you can do is go into the settings and turn your brightness up, so when the lights are out, you don't need to use your flashlight and you can see perfectly fine. This next one is quite possibly the most important one, so make sure to do this. In the settings you can actually turn down the music, which will change all the ambience, so you can hear the footsteps much more clearer. Another key thing to do is to use the ladder on the first night when you're trying to escape the house, as it is by far the most difficult way to escape. Last thing to mention are the hiding spots. At the pizzeria, make sure you open the vent as soon as you possibly can once you have the screwdriver. In my opinion, the best places to hide within nightmare mode are the vents and the ball pit. Now, along with only having one life, nightmare mode puts all the animatronics on max difficulty, and distractions will be destroyed after being used, and there's only a few hiding spots, which are shown here on the screen. Okay, so the first thing I did was play through the prologue. Once I got to the house, I immediately went to grab the rope and the first arcade part from the basement, because then I didn't need to go back there until I had the ladder. I also opened the attic because Springtrap can't attack you at this point, so it's the best time to do it. After grabbing the phone, I then called the mum under the table. Now the dining table is probably the best hiding spot at this point, because there's no quick time events since you don't have a flashlight. After playing through this bit, I then grabbed the ladder and I went straight to the window. Now this does take a bit of patience because typically he will run after you very quickly because it makes a lot of noise. At one point I did drop the ladder because I thought he was going to attack me, so I just made sure that it was quiet and calm and then I went straight to the basement. Then I went to the pizzeria and I grabbed the control panel, the power supply, the electron gun and the space age speakers. Then once I went through the ball pit, I went and got the next arcade part, and then I continued on with the story. At this point I also grabbed the dad's wallet as that's the first item you need out of the 5. When I dropped off the trash bag at the mill, I also grabbed the puzzle matrix and the rat trap. Once I got the keys from Jeff, I went and I got the token slot and the screwdriver. So at this point I already had 8 arcade parts, so I only needed 2 more. Now at this point I was able to open the vent, so I did that just so I had the new hiding spot. So the second day was quite simple. The only thing I did differently to playing straight through the story is go to the classroom and get the voucher validator. Then when it got to night time, I simply got to the front door and I went out that way. From this night forward, I had to have a lot more patience. This was because typically he would always be waiting outside in the main hall. Then I used the rat trap, got the rat, got the pizza slice, and then ended the night quite simply. Then after playing through day 3, I reached night 3 and I went to the window in the attic to use the rope to escape. I then used the stretchy hand to get the key to the arcade, got the photo of Oswald in the storage room where Golden Freddy is. I also made sure to grab the ticket counter, which was the last arcade part. Also got the guitar string at the mill, and then continued progressing forwards. One thing to note is I was ready on the spacebar when I went through the vent, because Bonnie does attack you. After leaving the arcade, I also hid in the Golden Freddy suit, as I believe this to be the safest option, because if you run straight to the ball pit, there's a chance you stumble and he could catch up and kill you. Another key thing to note is that Bonnie usually hides under the tables, and since it's max difficulty, he's going to be there a lot, so be careful. Now on day 4, the first thing to do when you're at the pizzeria is fix all 10 arcade machines. Also, a little side note, make sure you beat every single arcade machine, as I did not, and I got the 2-star ending. Also make sure you farm up 100 tickets so you can get 5 vouchers. This will allow you to get the free stickers you need, plus the game's console. Then go to the library and trade the console for the firecracker. Then on the last night, you can simply use the screwdriver on the window to escape. After using the firecracker, you can get into the security room and make sure you grab the wedding ring, which is the next item you need. When you find the child in the fridge, that sounds really weird to say out loud, but this is Five Nights at Freddy's. Grab the photo in the kitchen, as that's the third item you need, then grab the hammer in the arcade, and then open up the fridge. Spamming it already. There we go. And then we're gonna run. We're gonna run. Get through the door. Get in there. Your joke. So, I died, and I had to do it all over again, which was very annoying, but I got through it. Now, in terms of the way I died, I think it's because I initially ran a bit past the ball pit door, and then I stumbled at the end. Now, I would assume one way to get out of this would be going to a hiding spot, but I decided to just run straight to the pit, and luckily, it worked out. So, the final night. So the first thing to do was go to Jeff in the office and grab the keys. Once you leave this room though, you need to sprint as fast as possible, because Springtrap will be following you. Now once you're through the ball pit, Springtrap will continue to follow you, so you need to get to a hiding spot. Otherwise he's just going to keep chasing you, and there's a good chance you'll actually lose the run here. Now since stumbling would ruin the run here, I opted to go under the dining table, hit him with the flashlight, and then have enough speed to run and go to the vent. From this vent you can actually get to storage and get the name tag, which is the last item you need. Then I vented back and went to the arcade to do the first minigame. After that, I went to the gumball for the second minigame. Now this takes a lot of patience, as you're going to have to keep on spamming until you finally get the minigame. Obviously, the best thing to note here is you need to hide if you hear any footsteps. Then from there you need to go to the vent outside the party room. Once you've done this bit you can essentially relax, it should be fairly straightforward from here. Then when you're in the backstage, make sure to phone your mum again, and this will get you the third minigame. Then grab your security pass from the mangled animatronics, then vent back and open the security door. Now, all you have to do is follow through as normal here. Make sure you get the photo. That is the key bit here though, otherwise you won't get the 3-star ending. Then after you've vented, all you have to do is run to the ball pit. Then simply hit the quick times and you will get your 3-star ending. Is that it? Have I done it? I remember the dialogue slightly different, so let's pay attention this time. Exact thing. Yeah, that's all the same. It's the outdoor dialogue that's different. That's it. I've done it. Now, that's the end of the video. Feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.